Oh, shit, we're live. That was fast.
That was really
Usually
fun.
there's usually a lag, but what's going on, you guys? Anthony here with Pistons Talk. I'm joined by Detroit Drew. What is going on, man?
What's good, everybody, man? How's everyone doing today?
I just want to share this because I feel like this is one of your burner accounts.
That is not me. That is not me. I wish it was, but it's not.
That is an awesome name. Pistons make me drink. Honestly, I'm not really a drinker, but I could see why they do make you drink.
You know, if we want to drink, I got a fifth out here. I can bust out real quick if we want.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
those shows. I mean, what time is it? That's 7:30. It's drink o'clock.
Let's drink a clock. I do have some topics if you do want to talk about them a little bit.
Oh yeah, man. I got nothing but time.
Tyler Cook. So, guy I've never even freaking heard of. I'm not gonna like flex like I knew who the hell Tyler Cook is, but I wanted to know what you think he'll do within his 10-day contract.
So, I mean, this is kind of weird since we're not using our G League team. I like the kid's potential. Like you when you said I didn't know anything about him, but I've watched some of his highlights now. From what I can tell, again, it's just highlights. I haven't watched an entire game, but he's a very athletic big man. He's one of these guys who can take it coast to coast and dunk it on somebody. Well, I don't really know what to expect in his 10-day contract. Okafor, he's looking like he's getting close to return, but again with Troy Weaver, man, Okafor could be traded, Plumlee could be traded. He could be our backup big man here in a matter of days. So maybe that's what the Pistons are planning to do. I have no idea, but I like the move. I like his talent and his potential.
So I looked up his stats for this year, and they're pretty low. He's averaging a whopping half a point a game, half a rebound, and a half an assist. So he hasn't played in the NBA too much, but I did see some G League highlights. Like he said, he looks kind of athletic, kind of reminds me. Someone said he's Isaiah Stewart with hops. I'm like,
if that was the case, he'd be in the NBA playing, though.
Yeah, same here. Got some international love. 2:30 in the morning, and you're watching us talk about Pistons. Shout out to you, man. That's dedication. That is dedication. Didn't know we had some international love, but that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect from him. Honestly, I was surprised that we even gave another 10-day contract out. I thought we would have used that roster spot on Saban Lee to give him a guaranteed contract, but I'm not really sure
Well, when does his contract run out for that?
Well, I think the NBA nixed the two-way situation where, you can only spend I think 50 days with the team. But since COVID, they kind of got rid of that. You can give a guaranteed roster spot right now, which, I would be open to, but I don't really know what the situation is there.
Yeah, I don't know either. Troy's got a plan, though. I trust him.
Yeah, honestly. Don't know where J-Mo's at. I think isn't Roundtable tonight, too?
Roundtable is tonight, so he's probably wants to talk about the Lions because today was the first day of free agency, and the Lions really didn't do a damn thing. So he'll probably go over there and give some people some free smoke.
Yeah, I mean, every time I look, it looks like they cut someone else.
I don't know what's going on. They're tearing that thing down. They're getting rid of all Patricia's guys, which you have to do. You got to tear it down to rebuild it. So,
yeah, I mean, he's trying to pull a Troy Weaver on us. Honestly,
no, because if you listen to Troy, the Lions can't restore. We don't have any Super Bowls, so
they can't be great.
They can't be great.
We're actually going to get into the topic. That's actually one of the topics I didn't want to talk about with you because I know you made I watched that whole 9-minute video talking about Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
I had no opinions on it because I was just kind of shocked that not only does he want a new scenery, but Detroit was on his list.
Yeah.
I was shocked by that.
I was too.
Yeah, and I don't even know. I thought the Pistons actually called about his trade availability. They really didn't. Aaron Gordon wants to play for the Detroit Pistons.
Does he know Troy Weaver or does he know Dwayne Casey on a personal level or something? Does he know somebody here? Why would he want to come here?
I have no idea. Maybe someone can do some digging. I don't know if he has a connection with anyone in the front office. I'm going to look up his agent.
It might be Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross might have put a good word in about Dwayne Casey or something.
I don't even know.
Because I mean, we don't have anyone from Orlando on this team.
Kelvin Andrews. So yeah, Kelvin Andrews represents. Oh, he's from Clutch Sports. So yeah, I don't really know why he wants to play here. That yeah, he was like the more I read the Chris B. Haynes article, he had a list. I got to pull it up because there was a couple teams on there that wanted where he wanted to play with, and I was kind of surprised that we were even on the list. Usually we're not on any kind of list for any kind of destination. So I was like, wait, what? He wants to come here. That's news. That's weird.
That's a first, man. I can't remember the last time someone wanted to come here that was actually solid, you know.
Yeah, so,
that's Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant wanted to come here. I guess that counts.
Yeah, man, I gotta look to see. I'm pulling up his article right now, but you guys can't see it. So there's a couple teams he wanted to go to. Now a surprise. So here we go. So Denver Nuggets, Houston Rockets, and Detroit. I mean, Denver's a playoff team. Don't really think they need him. They kind of have Michael Porter Jr. there.
Why would you want to go to Houston when they have Christian Wood?
Exactly. Christian Wood is kind of like, apparently he's untouchable, which is, I don't know, that kind of like made me laugh because the Pistons didn't think he was untouchable, but the Rockets do for whatever reason. And the Pistons, which I was shocked by that, honestly.
I want to know the reason why he wanted to put us on the list. I'm not like mad he wants to come here. It's just I'm trying to make sense of it because I'm not used to this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe we're one of his league pass teams. like Vaughn says, maybe he likes what we're doing. Maybe he,
I got it. I cracked the case. Everyone calls him the off-brand Blake Griffin. So what better way to surpass Blake Griffin than going to the team he just left and got swept in the playoffs once? Coming here, playing better than Blake, equaling wins, makes him better than Blake. Maybe that's an ego thing.
I don't even know because I'm looking at his agent, Clutch Sports. So, KCP joined Clutch Sports. He left us. There's no connection whatsoever. There's no former Orlando Magic player on this team.
Also, another suggestion. He's looking at what Jeremy Grant did this year. Gordon is a restricted free agent, or is he unrestricted after this year?
I think he's got this year and then next, and then free agent 2022.
So if he comes here and balls out for the rest of this year and next year, someone will make a big splash on him in free agency. Maybe this could just be a filler spot too. I don't know. Where he's going to come in here, he'll get more opportunities. Because you look at Orlando, it's Vucevic's team. He's really got an increased role throughout the years. They have some good guard play whenever Fultz is healthy. Cole Anthony's done a good job there. Fournier, he's been balling out. He's kind of losing his touches. They haven't got Isaac back yet. Once he gets back, that's just less touches for Gordon. Coming here, man, outside of Jeremy Grant, he'd probably be one of our go-to guys. So he'd have a bigger role again, putting up better numbers. So, maybe he just wants opportunity again.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be that, I don't know, he sees all the former slam dunk champions.
It's a very fun team to play with, I'll tell you that.
And someone said, I don't even think Aaron Gordon would put us out of the lottery. I don't think he really moves the needle too much. Maybe you win 3 or 4 more games.
If I was Aaron Gordon, though, I'd probably say I'd want to go to Atlanta and then Atlanta do a Collins-Gordon swap.
I wouldn't necessarily think they would want our pick. That's a speculation, honestly. There's been no report.
They're not getting it.
I was going to say,
they're not getting it.
I was going to say that's a speculation, honestly. But, like I told you before we started, I think Seku's a part of the deal. If there is an Aaron Gordon trade, Seku's a part of the deal. I hate to say it.
And see, I don't think Gordon's a good enough player to sacrifice Sekou yet with. I'm telling you, if we hold on to Sekou, next year if we want to move up, you can package our first to move up and Sekou, a young prospect, a great first-round pick to move up next year. I like that a lot better than trading him for Aaron Gordon, who could leave in a year. Who, like you said, it's not going to move the needle too much. But I mean, if we did it, I mean, I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be super excited, but I'd be pretty neutral on it. Like, I don't care if we get Gordon or not. Like, I'm still neutral on it. But the more and more I think about it, I kind of don't really want him here.
Yeah, I mean, I hate comparing the going to work crew to anyone on this current roster because I just want the rookies we drafted to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the comparisons. Like he says, Tay can Ben Sheed and Tay equal beef stew, Gordon and Jeremy Grant. I disagree with that statement. I think all the players that we have, I think Isaiah Stewart is going to be a really good player. I think Jeremy Grant's having a really good year. I think Aaron Gordon's a nice player, but I don't think they could even hold a candle to Ben Wallace or Sheed Wallace or Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah. I mean, Sheed really wasn't a great defender, but Tayshaun and Big Ben were our best defenders. And Grant's a good defender. Stu's a good defender, but Big Ben and Tayshaun were Big Ben for sure was elite 4-time defensive player, but Tayshaun, he was above good a defense. He was a great defender.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of us like to compare because we're just so starving to get back into the playoffs. It's going to happen. We just have to be, more patient with it. I don't know. I feel like it's a fake rumor too. At the same time,
it could just be bait too.
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be bait because maybe the Magic want to get up. Like the Magic have like Evan Fournier, like you said, Vucevic, Gordon.
Ooh, I like that though. If it's clickbait, Gordon would want to use the Pistons because he knows how active Troy Weaver has been, and he knows the Pistons are willing to do trades right now. So he's trying to get the phones ringing. Okay, I like these conspiracy theories we're doing.
That's just the only thing I could honestly think of. It's not even that there's talks. He actually wants to come here, which I can't tell you the last time. Maybe like Antonio McKnight's actually wanted to come to the Pistons because we're contending. I can't tell you the last time a Piston player said, I want to go to Detroit, without paying him like $30 million, Charlie V. Like straight up, like he actually wants to come here. That's crazy to me. I really don't have an answer for it.
I think it just end up like Josh Smith 2.0. To be honest with you, it's not going to translate to wins. It's all hype, no dubs.
Yeah, honestly, I think we
can say he was not a good defender. He just wasn't at the level of Big Ben and Tayshaun.
Yeah, but C-Web was pretty washed when he wanted to come here.
Yeah, he was like 40.
Yeah, C-Web was like he had like a couple of good games. He wasn't. DeLon wanted to come here for the wrong reasons, honestly.
DeLon's not an elite, though. They don't count. He's a role player.
I think what's going to happen, which Wayne Ellington did this a few years ago on the buyout market. Free willingly came to Detroit, and then the Knicks paid that man like an elite player. I think that'll happen with DeLon, too. I think some team will see DeLon, and they're like, let's overpay for him because he's playing well right now. Yeah, Brian just speaking facts as usual. The direction of the franchise will be set up in the upcoming draft, possible next two, and the offseason after that with the cap space. I think Gordon now is a very short-sighted Blake. 100% agree. Like I said, I called him a poor man's Blake Griffin, or I said he's a healthy Blake Griffin, and I got ripped on it for Twitter for whatever reason. But
he's not as good as healthy Blake Griffin is, though. Like you said, he's an off-brand.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a poor man's Blake Griffin at the end of the day.
Walmart brand.
Dollar General, maybe? I don't know. We could talk about this. I know you made a video about it. Maybe you want to kind of expand on it, on the Wayne Ellington stuff. So Pistons just want a second-round pick for Wayne Ellington. So is there a certain team that you're looking at for a second-round pick, or you just don't care? You just want a second-round pick for it?
I don't care, man. I really don't. Whatever draft picks, some team has a better draft pick, like a higher second-round draft pick, you do it. Simple and plain. I'm not trying to get fancy here. I'm not trying to demand too much. If a team is wanting Wayne Ellington and they give us a second, I'm perfectly content with it. Don't care who it is or why they want him. Give me that pick, man. More picks, the better for Troy.
I mean, he had a groin injury last night. Didn't play. I don't know how much I buy that. honestly. I, like, give me a 2021 second round pick. I want 3 second round picks. Package that for another first, a late first.
Yeah, and like you said, man, hey, if we get 3 second round picks and we want to trade Sekou and acquire another top 5 pick and throw in, I don't know who else I'd want to throw in. I don't want to get rid of the core 4.
Yeah.
Josh Jackson, maybe, or Jeremy Grant, and get another top 5 pick. I'm down for that. Maybe get a chance to get Caden Mobley. I'm down for that. I mean, it's not going to happen, but we got to throw it out there to get the possibility. We got to speak it into existence.
I'm glad you said Josh Jackson because a lot of people said, you got Hamidou Diallo. Is Josh Jackson expendable now?
I mean, I would feel bad if we did trade him because this is his home. He's been playing very good. However, Josh Jackson is not perfect. I find myself a lot of times watching Josh Jackson and being let down because of his shot selection. I think he takes a lot of dumb shots. He's got the green light, and I get that. Not all of his shots are bad, but like one play, I look at him, I'm like, wow, how the hell did he do that? That layup was crazy. He got to the line. He got a steal. And then the other times, I'm just like, dude, there was 5 guys at the rim, and you try to Michael Jordan switch hands in the air. I'm like, well, it's like he's either a really great play or a really bad play. So I mean, if you get some availability for him, I'm picking up the phone. I'm gonna see what the water is. I'm not actively trying to pursue or like get rid of him, but if there's a good enough value out there, I'd do it. I'm not sold on Josh Jackson.
I mean, what you said, like everything, like he'll take like these crazy like transition. He'll just absorb like 3 or 4 bodies and try to like do like a crazy layup and it doesn't work. Or he's shooting the 3-point shot when it goes in. You're happy for him. But last night, I mean, I don't even think he might have made 1 or 2. But I mean, that's something fans have talked about, that Diallo could be a replacement for Josh Jackson, a cheaper replacement if they want.
See, I don't want to get rid of Josh because his defense is still good.
Yeah, it is.
And like I said, he's versatile. He can play the forward he can guard 1 through 4. And if you bring in Diallo, I mean, you can have a small ball lineup. We'll get a lot more steals. We'll be a lot more fun watching us run a transition. So I kind of want to see how that would work when Diallo gets here and see how they both can play together before we give up on one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have so many wings on this team now that I think Diallo kind of brings another level defensively. Like you said, you could have like a Diallo with the shooting guard. Maybe you have Josh off the bench at the small forward, and who knows what you have at power forward. Maybe Sekou's out there with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a scary defensive lineup because it's really switchable. It's tall. I think Diallo's 6'5", and he's very fast and very quick and athletic. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've heard he might be moved, but I don't know what you could get for him. Maybe a second.
Yeah, I think he'd have more value if you package him with somebody. If you package him in Sekou, you could get a lot in return, I think.
I feel like Sekou has more value because I know Devin's like, I don't want to speak this into existence, but where's he getting traded? I think Sekou has more trade value than Josh Jackson just because of the potential that's there. You kind of know what you're getting from Josh Jackson. You're going to get like 14 points, 5 rebounds, and a couple assists, and some just crazy transition plays. Maybe he'll dunk on someone. Like, he got blocked by Eubanks, like really bad.
That was embarrassing.
Dude, Eubanks, he always shits on the Pistons. I don't know what his beef is with us, but he just blocks everything. It's insane.
He must have been a Lakers fan in 2004. That's all I can think of. I don't know why, dude. That block was insane.
He did get his revenge, though. He did have a pretty nice dunk. Yeah, they did. They did. I think this was a part of the Dinwiddie trade, which he did expand on in his article. I think he had Plumlee and Wayne going to the Nets in exchange for Dinwiddie and a pick. Which, that's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but again, I don't want to keep piling up on point. I mean, then when he can play the two, but at the same time, like you said, we got Diallo, we got Josh Jackson, we got Sadiq Bey. We gotta let some of these young guys play eventually.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would hate to give up on, guys that, wanted to come here. Like Josh Jackson actually wanted to come here, which,
Right.
that because it's Detroit, it's his home. Giving up on him so early would be kind of, I don't know, premature because he's shown improvement.
I wonder how good he'd be playing in Phoenix if he was still there with CP3.
I think he'd still come off the bench.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there'd be lineups where he'd be out there with CP3. But oh well, he's here now.
Yeah, I mean, see, there's such a mix of these type of comments where, I don't disagree with Sekou has trade value. Where I do disagree is his basketball IQ was low. I keep saying this a lot. I don't think his basketball IQ was low at all. He had a lot of good plays last night in the short amount of time. He was making a lot of good passes. And he's getting more comfortable playing in the half court.
Here's my thing though: is why does everyone want to trade Sekou? You can't tell me he doesn't have potential. You can't tell me he has low basketball IQ because he never gets any minutes. When has Sekou, except for his rookie year where he had that 2-week stretch, gotten a real opportunity? He hasn't gotten consistent minutes. He hasn't played with consistent rotation. He has yet to play with Killian Hayes, his best friend. We need to see that when Killian comes back because you guys don't understand here. And I know a lot of you guys might be new to the Pistons because we had Derrick Rose, we got Blake. So you guys came in from Chicago and New York and LA. So you're new to the brand. When we traded away Spencer Dinwiddie, he became good. He became a borderline all-star. He was close a couple times. He didn't make it. We also traded away Chris Middleton for a guy who would later tear his Achilles. I love Brandon Jennings. I wish that would have worked out better. But now Chris Middleton is a multiple-time all-star, and Milwaukee is a title contender. If we make the same mistake with Sekou, we will never hear the end of it. And if we wait 1-2 more years, his trade value is not going to go down because he can't even drink yet. He's only 20. So just think about that. That's scary. He's only been playing basketball since he's 16. How good were you when you've been playing basketball for 4 years? Probably not very good. You probably couldn't even hit rim all the way on a 10-foot hoop. You were still young. So give Sekou more time. Don't trade him right now. Be patient. Give him some opportunity, and then we can judge it. We haven't seen enough to judge. He has yet to play 82 games.
Yeah,
He's still a rookie.
I think him transitioning from his first year, I believe Reggie was still on the team his rookie year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had Reggie and Derrick Rose, which I thought he thrived with Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose really loves to run and transition, but he never really passed him the ball. But Sekou likes to run, and you don't really see too much transition offense from the Pistons. Very rarely do you do. They do a lot of half-court stuff, which kind of limits what he's good at. He loves running. He loves, cutting. And when you kind of play that half-court set, you don't really get too many opportunities to run or to cut unless you're really paying attention to the defense. I think over the past maybe week or so, I've seen him adjust to the half court. Now, I don't like seeing him, stand in the corner and shoot threes. Kind of reminds me of Stanley Johnson a little bit in a sense.
But that's not his game.
No. That to me is just the coaching staff doesn't trust him to do anything else. Like shoot threes and cut.
He doesn't need to do a whole lot, though. Our offense is so simple. We only set picks for either Wayne Ellington off ball or for our point guard. If you had Plumlee or Beef Stew go over set a screen on Sekou's guy while he's cutting to the hoop, you would have a lot more alley-oop opportunities. You watch teams who have had these high flowers. Look at the Clippers in Lob City. How many times did DeAndre Jordan set a screen on Blake's guy so Blake could get an alley-oop? A ton. Plus, it worked with CP3 because they had a pass-first point guard, so it opened up everything. When Killian comes back, we're going to have a pass-first point guard. And, Devin, you're right. Sekou looks a lot more involved with Saban because Saban's one of these guys who pushes it. He wants to run. He wants to dunk on people. When Killian comes back, he's going to have that if he plays with him, which I would suspect Killian to come off the bench since he hasn't played in a couple months, just to get him back in conditioning. So he should probably play with Sekou. But we don't run any plays for him. It's the same thing for Andre Drummond. We never ran any plays for Andre.
Mm-mm.
So same old, same old. It's really on Dwayne Casey at the end of the day. You got to get your young guys involved.
Yeah, he just made it difficult because now he has a shitload of forwards.
Yeah. Competition's good, though. Competition can make or break somebody. Again, Sekou's only 20, so if he's on the bench, don't worry. He'll get his opportunity sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I've seen flashes of him being a really good player. I think it was the New York Knicks preseason game where he had like 25 points.
Yeah.
And he was cutting, shooting 3-pointers. I love it when he takes it to the basket. I want him to be aggressive at all times. I think him attacking actually forces the defense to, actually try to contest his shots. Like he always tries to jam it on someone, and I love that about him. Like I want to see aggressive Sekou 24/7. Like I don't want to see him being so tentative. Like I think there's a couple plays we've seen this year where it's open for a 3 and he won't shoot it. Like I just want him to be aggressive at all times.
I mean, I understand though. He's not a 3-point shooter. Though. I mean, he can shoot it. There's a difference between being able to shoot it and being a 3-point shooter. He's someone who wants to dunk on people. He needs to be more aggressive, like you said, so that way he goes to the free throw line. He doesn't go to the free throw line a whole lot. He needs to be one of these guys who's constantly attacking the rim, even if it's like Josh Jackson. If he's got to do some MJ flipping it in the air, I don't care. I want to see it from Sekou. I want him to show us he's matured and can attack, like you said. But again, these young guys are making chemistry. When Killian comes back, if we had a lineup of Killian, Saban, Josh Jackson, Sekou, and Beef Stew, they're going to click because that's some of the guys who are going to be in our core. I really want to see that to see how that will work because Killian is working out right now with Beef Stew in the pick and roll. So that's already one domino. Sekou and Killian have already played together in the France League. You just got to throw it out there and see what the hell happens.
Yeah, I wish Sekou had Josh Jackson's confidence where he just doesn't give a shit.
Well, Josh Jackson's from Detroit. We all have that mentality. So
yeah, he doesn't have that. He does not have that mentality. If Sekou had Josh Jackson's mentality where I'm just going to chuck, 10 threes a night, or I'm just going to, who cares about my body? I'm just going to dunk it on anybody.
Right.
I would love to see that from him, but maybe the coaching staff can, say, hey, man, be aggressive. You're like, it seems like he got taller too. Like, I think it says he's 6'8". Or some shit like that, and then someone says no, he's 6'10". I was just like, didn't know he grew. No, yeah, it says he's 6'8", which I think he's way taller than 6'8". Because they say Sekou's only 6'8".
I thought he was like 6'9" or 6'10".
Yeah, I think he grew a little bit.
Again. That's what happens when you're so young and you come into the league. You can grow.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Giannis, bro. Giannis was like the size of a pencil when he came in. Now look at him, bro. He's built like The Rock, who's 7 foot tall.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, you're not wrong. I mean, he's not consistent. If he gets more consistent, he'll get more time. I don't think he's the next Spencer or Chris. That's where I disagree.
No, but what if he is? You don't know.
I think he could be. I think with San Antonio, perfect spot for him. I mean, look at what they've done with Keldon Johnson and DeJounte Murray.
Oh, man, giving another foreign player to pop, it's game over.
Yeah, imagine if Sekou was in San Antonio. He'd get developed. He'd probably – I wouldn't say he would be like a star player, but I think he'd be a rotational player at the latest.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to you, Bravo. Appreciate the super chat. And if we're still on, so I'll let you in. I know you're at work right now, but appreciate you listening in.
I just feel like people are too impatient. Mm-hmm. And you've seen it this year with Killian Hayes. How, after 3 games, people gave up on Killian Hayes already?
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never seen
where
that.
did all the LaMelo Ball haters go? Remember, like the first 2-3 weeks of the year when he wasn't doing so hot. People were like, "Oh, he's a bum. He's a scrub, just like his brother." Now I haven't heard anything. I'm not trying to turn the JAMA with the Ball family stuff here,
No.
but people just need to learn to be patient. Everyone develops and grows at different rates and different stages. Look at the '04 team, man. Look what the Wizards did with Big Ben.
I don't know if you know. This is actually kind of funny about Big Ben and the Wizards. So he was playing overseas before he actually played with the Wizards. The Wizards, sign him to, a contract, and their GM's like, yeah, I want you to be the defensive anchor for us, because he was coming off the bench and he was starting. And 2 weeks later, he gets traded to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I'm like, wow. There was a really cool interview I watched with Big Ben. I'll send it to you. He pretty much talked about like his whole just time in the league, and basketball wasn't even his first choice. He wanted to play football, which is
he's built like a football player. He's built like a linebacker. So
yeah, I mean, like he wanted to play football, and he got a injury in his neck, and he didn't start taking basketball seriously until his like last 2 years in high school, and he was punking. I want to say Patrick Ewing it was. He went to a basketball camp and he was like bodying him up. He's like, man, who the hell is this dude?
That's funny. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Boston, the true fact, played small forward for the Bullets. Boston wanted him to be a guard at one point.
Boston?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I gotta send you the interview, man. It's the funniest thing. He said the Celtics were trying to use him as a guard in training camp. He's like, bro, I'm not a guard, because they thought he was too short to be a center.
Right. But I mean, that's what I'm saying though. The Wizards gave up on him too fast. Orlando did. We took him and we built a championship team around him. Look at Chauncey. Chauncey was a journeyman. He got passed around more than a Kardashian. Comes here and he helps bring us a championship. Like, it's the same old, same old. Like, you have to be patient with these guys. They don't just turn into stars overnight, man. Not everyone comes in like Zion and John Morant and Luka and Trae Young. Sometimes it takes these guys a couple of years.
Right situation, right coaching staff, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, we traded Grant Hill for Ben Wallace and Chucky Atkins. You know how pissed off fans were because they didn't know who the hell they were?
Yeah. I mean, you look back at it now and you're like, that's a great trade. But back then, Grant Hill was like the next face of the NBA if he didn't get hurt. He was on that kind of pace. Like, one of my favorite players of all time. That's how good it was.
It's the reason why I'm a Piston fan still. Grew up on the Grant Hill era. I love Grant Hill.
He was so lethal on NBA Jam when you unlocked him.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't even think fans like. I feel like fans are kind of, I don't know. They were accustomed to us being so great for so long during the 2000s, and recently it's just been real shit. Like you look at all the teams and the moves Joe Dumars did, the missed draft picks. I think fans just stopped caring about the Pistons. It's really easy to root for the Los Angeles Lakers right now because they have LeBron James and they're title favorites.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a diehard fan, you will rock with this team, whether they're an NBA championship team or if they're a rebuilding team. I'm a diehard fan. I don't care if they go 0-82. I'll still watch them because it's an addiction.
Yeah. I would agree. They're my drug. Besides the alcohol, they're my second drug. I mean, look at like Knicks fans, man. When they drafted Porzingis, I'll never forget Stephen A. Smith's rant, bro. Like, when you're entitled to greatness and you mess up, it's tough. It is terrible. I mean, look at the Lions, bro. Before I know it, I'll be gray-haired and bald because of the Lions, but I'm still going to watch them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's an addiction with their teams. Like, I'm a casual Lions fan. I'll still watch them every Sunday because there's nothing else on Sundays. But it's just kind of like that Detroit mentality. Like, we support our teams. Bad their shit. We'll talk shit about them on, social media. We'll say, blah, blah's overrated. Jared Goff probably isn't the quarterback of the future or something stupid like that. But I mean, it's just an addiction, honestly.
There's a time and a place for it, though. When your team makes a big oopsie, you got to let them have it. But to constantly rip them, like right now, what's the point? Like, it doesn't change anything.
Unfortunately, I've grown up with the Pistons being bad, but I'm still a loyal fan. I cannot wait until they're good because I got to witness it when they were good. That from like 2003, from '08, man, we were talking our shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pistons fans were just top. Like when we beat LA, man, there were so many like people in Michigan that were LA fans. I still have friends that are Los Angeles Lakers fans. Like they're still pissed off about that.
Oh yeah.
Till this day because Kobe didn't get that 6th ring.
I mean, did you watch that Kobe and Shaq interview? They were still pissed off about it.
Like I said, that podcast I'm gonna show you, because Ben Wallace hears all that riffraff about how the Lakers weren't on the same page, and Ben's just like, well, I took care of Shaq, so I don't want to hear that weak ass shit.
Right.
Like honestly, like if they wanted to use the excuse that they were having problems. I mean, that was honestly just a star team. You had Gary Payton, you had Karl Malone, even though he was like 50.
Well, that's the difference between this team. Like, go to the next year when we play San Antonio. You don't hear us making excuses for that shot, bro. You don't. We goofed. We messed up. We missed an assignment, and it cost us.
Oh, Jerry and Grant Hill, man, like that was like Jerry Stackhouse was a bucket, man. Like that. I think he averaged close to 30 points a game when he was here at the Pistons, and then we traded him for Rip Hamilton, was only averaging like 17 or 18 at the time.
He has the records for most points scored in a game, doesn't he?
I think it's 58 against the Bulls. He just
58.
He cooked.
Like, Stackhouse is so underrated, bro. People don't talk about him being such a good Piston, but dude, you gotta go back and watch some of those highlights, bro. Like him and Grant Hill was all we had, but it was more than enough to entertain people. Just wasn't good enough to win. We were so close, but I mean, to be honest with you, if you ask me right now, what was our roster like? I'd be like Stackhouse, Grant Hill. That was it, because I think that was after Joe Dumars retired.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I wanted him as like if we need a new coach, like Stackhouse would be at top of my list, just because.
Oh, he's not going to much, bro. He's got such a great organization there. He's got a job for life. Him and Juwan Howard, they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
I know one of my friends that works in the media at the Kings. He wants Juwan Howard to go to the Kings. I was like, bro, he's not leaving. He's not leaving Michigan. You're stuck with Luke Walton and I think Elvin Gentry. So.
If Michigan, I don't want to say they have to win, but if they make a deep run without Livers, dude. Howard's never going to leave. Like, he'll have a job for life. He won't even have to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Beeline was a good coach till we got Juwan Howard.
Dude, I really think Beeline's overrated now. Like, to be honest with you.
I know. Yeah, he did. He did get us 50 wins without Grant Hill, which is absolutely insane.
Bananas.
Yeah, I mean, he still has a lot of, like, scoring records for the Pistons. And I wish I was alive during the bad boy era, but I'm not. I'm only 29, so I was born in '92, so I didn't get to witness any of that. And by the time I was, old enough to actually go back and like watch the games on YouTube, it's just like Isaiah Thomas could play in this era. He was just that damn good.
Oh yeah, he was Kyrie before Kyrie, who played defense.
Kelly Tripucka too, man. That like Kelly Tripucka. I don't know a lot of Pistons fans, probably I want to say millennials probably don't know about him, but that guy was a bucket, man. Like he could just score on anybody. They didn't play a lot of defense, but Isaiah and Kelly Tripucka, man, they would put up like 120 on you.
There's a reason we have the highest scoring game of all time.
It's because of guys like that. The Denver Nuggets game. Honestly, it reminded me of that Bulls game from like 5 years ago when it went to overtime.
Remember that. That game was crazy, bro.
I don't know if anyone in the chat remembers that game. I remember sitting on the couch. Game starts at 7:30, and by the time sitting on my couch, someone's like, "Bro, are you still watching the game?" I was like, "Yeah, I went to overtime. It's like midnight. The game's over."
Like the third overtime. Did I go 3 or 4? I don't remember.
I think it went 4. It's when
Dude,
championship.
that was such an exciting game, bro. Like I need to go rewatch highlights of that because I remember being glued. Fucking Jimmy Butler doesn't miss, bro.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 2004. That was the sweetest win of all time. I have so many Laker fan friends. Yeah, same here. They're still Lakers fans. They're still salty over that.
I got a lot of Lakers fans, but because only they're Braun fans. They don't count.
Yeah, honestly, they're probably getting Andre Drummond though. Andre Drummond, low key, keeps liking shit.
I don't look. I don't. I was cool with the Lakers winning for Kobe last year, but I don't like LeBron. I don't want to see him win. I'll never root against Andre, but if he goes there, I won't be rooting for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw, but he doesn't follow the Lakers at all, and he's going on his Instagram account and liking Laker photos. Like, what are you doing, bro?
He's always cryptic, though. You can
Yeah,
never get a read on him. You think he means something, he goes a different direction.
yeah, he'll deny it in
But
2 seconds.
he's still wearing the teal Pistons shorts.
Which she got at the tent sale, which, I don't know. Did you ever go to that when they were having that tent sale?
I did not. I wanted to. I was trying to work that day.
Oh my god, dude, that tent sale was ridiculous. Like there was like Tayshaun stuff in there, teal stuff. Like it was insane. Like I don't even know where they kept all that garbage. I shouldn't call it garbage. I don't know where they kept all that all that merchandise. But like honestly, man, it was crazy. Some of the stuff that people were pulling out was like from the 80s.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they keep. Well, I mean, have you got the last time I went to like the team store? They still had Brandon Jennings stuff up. I don't think it was Grimm Monroe. It was someone else from that era too. It was someone old. I'm like, why the hell do they still have that up? It was someone from like that era though. I don't remember who it was. I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I mean, they must like have like a storage locker just full of old jerseys or something. I have no idea.
I mean, I saw a Stanley Johnson jersey maybe last year in the Piston shop.
Yeah, it was might have been Stanley. That could have been it too. I don't remember.
It was still there. I mean, it was regular price. It wasn't on sale.
We're still going to have Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose jerseys for the next 5 years at least. So,
Honestly, man, I think I would go Cade, Mobley, and Kuminga. Those are my 3 guys.
I will either take Suggs or Green for that final third spot.
I just say that because Suggs and Green don't have wingspans, so Troy Weaver probably won't even look at them twice. Honestly, Cade's going to lead his team to the Final Four. I wouldn't be surprised by that, honestly.
If he does, there's no way he falls in this draft. So, any hope if we fall, he ain't falling. He might not fall anyway. So, although Mobley, man, he's starting to grow on me a lot more, bro. I see what you guys were talking all this stuff months ago. I see it.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I watched like maybe 1 or 2 games of him. I'm like when it was early, and people are like, "Well, dude, he's not that good," but he got better defensively. Like as the year got on, like you could kind of beat him early in the year, but he's just increased his defensive intensity. Now the frame does concern me a little bit, but like I said, scouts are calling him like Anthony Davis light, which that's anytime you say that name in a draft, it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah, but to the point about the frame, I'm not worried about the frames of NBA players. Now the NBA is like, look at the new Pistons workout facility. It's top of the art. We have some of the best trainers and stuff over here. I mean, just in the NBA in general, if you hired a personal trainer over the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to add muscle, you're going to add weight, you're going to be in better shape. Like they just understand more about. They have more technology and research and history on it. Where 10 years ago that might have been a problem, but now I'm not really concerned about it because he'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people like Jalen Green, which it's not that I don't like him. It's just I feel like he's kind of like lower in the tier. Some people will take him as high as 2, which I've seen in some mocks. I think he goes top 5 regardless because he's a really good player. We're rebuilding, Lawrence. That's why we're not trading for a veteran.
So we already have people like McGriddle and Ellington and Plumlee and DeLon playing. We don't need any more, man.
That Big Mac was cooking last night.
Big Mac, get out of here, bro. He's a Happy Meal.
I died when Mason called him Big Mac during the intros. I was like, did not just do that.
Were you there?
No, my stream that I use, like they'll show you like when the players are warming up or like during the timeouts and stuff, and he was introducing the players and he was like Rodney Big Mac Magruder. I was like, no, you didn't.
I hate that. It's funny, but I hate that. Wish you would have called him McGriddle. That'd have been awesome though.
Best potential. It's too early to say. I still think Cade has the most potential out of those two guys, honestly.
Yep.
I think Cade's just on a different level than everyone else in this draft. I mean, like I said, I don't want to like say he's the next Luka, but I see a little bit of like Luka in him when he does take over games. Just like the 3-pointer. Like he doesn't pass as much as like a Luka Doncic. Just kind of like that clutch gene I see from him and Jalen Suggs a little bit.
He's just cool, calm, and collective. He's just one of those guys, like, if he goes against, like, a Patrick Beverly who's trying to get underneath your head, like, he's not going to be fazed by it. He's going to pull up and do his own thing. Like, he doesn't care who you are. He's coming at you.
American Luka, yeah, definitely. And, Devin, you did ask me this on Twitter, if Saban Lee's going to force Dennis Jr. out of town. I don't know, honestly, man. Like, I feel like they took a flyer on DSJ because they didn't know what was going to happen with Killian. And no one saw Saban Lee being this good. I sure as hell didn't. When we drafted him, I'll be the first to say I didn't know who Saban Lee was. Don't watch a lot of Vanderbilt college basketball at all. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and say I knew who Saban Lee was. I didn't know he was going to translate into the NBA this seamlessly. He looks like a freaking veteran out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible how good he is at such a young age.
He's not forcing a lot out of Detroit, though. I think we can have a 3-point guard rotation. I mean, it's no different what we're doing right now with Magruder, McGriddle, whatever you want to call him, Big Mac if you're Pistons talking, Mason, and Wayne Ellington. Those guys get a lot of minutes. And then DeLon Wright plays a lot of too. So, I mean, if we can have a 3 shooting guard rotation, we can have a 3-point guard rotation, give them all good, decent minutes. And plus, it might be a mismatch thing too, where depending on the matchups who we're playing against, you throw whoever's out there. Because like Dennis Smith Jr. didn't really play good against the Knicks. Was it because his nerves were up? I don't know. Saban Lee did. So maybe that's the game you sent Dennis Smith Jr., let him get some rest. You know, if Killian has a little bit of soreness in his hip, you set him down, play DSJ, Saban. I mean, I'd rather have and keep 3 of these guys than to lose one and then another one gets hurt or whatever, and we're down another point guard. I'd rather keep all 3 and work it out from there and find out who's better.
Yeah, I mean, I think ever since we had Reggie Jackson, we've always had 3 point guards, but I think it's all going to be dependent on what draft pick we get.
Now, if we get Cade, bye-bye DSJ.
Yeah, I mean, even if he signs for a vet's minimum, I don't even know. I don't know if he would even do that because he said money isn't an object. He just likes the hoop. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's just BS. I feel like someone's going to offer you $10 million. You're going to take it.
I mean, depending on Chicago, man, they might want him.
Compare. Absolutely, yeah. We might want Zach LaVine because he's a dunker too. You never know.
He did win a dunk contest. That's a Troy Weaver guy. If we get Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, it's a wrap. It's over.
That is a lot of money.
You know how they said when the Warriors were coming up that jump shooting teams can't win? Well, slam dunk contest champions do win. So that'd be the new mantra.
Oh, absolutely, Von. If you get the number 1 pick, you have to draft Cade.
100%.
Like, I don't like it. It kind of pisses me off that we didn't have Troy Weaver probably 5 years ago because we might have Devin Booker, we might have Donovan Mitchell. Like, man, I wish we had him a couple of years back because this team could look a whole lot different.
Did you read Ben's comment?
I did. Jackson on Jackson crime.
Bro, that was tough, bro.
So much so that the Pelicans actually paid to promote their tweet on Twitter. So I'm scrolling on Twitter and it says promoted. I was like, oh, they're actually paying for views on this video right now.
Wow. It wasn't that good of a dunk to promote it, but I feel bad for Reggie. Reggie was doing all right, bro. He was doing all right until that point.
I got a little bathroom real quick if you want to answer some questions.
Yeah, man. Whatever you guys want to talk about, drop it down below, man. Would I rather have Cade or LaMelo? Ooh, Marvin. That's a good one. I really have never thought about that. I mean, I would love to have both. Seeing what LaMelo is doing right now, though, it's like, all right, he is everything I thought he would be, and maybe a little bit better. With Cade, man, I think he's got more potential, though, at least at scoring, whereas Melo does a little bit of everything. I think they're both special. I have to go with Cade, though, man. I think Cade's got more upside. I think he's a better shooter. I think he's better in the pick and roll. Whereas Melo, he's a good rebounder. He's a passer, and he's a scorer. He does a little bit of everything, but I think Cade's more flashy. I like Cade, bro. I really like Cade, bro. I really like Cade. And I love LaMelo. LaMelo's my guy, man. Hey, happy 316 day, bro. That's the bottom line, man. I like that. Yeah, but Melo's one of these guys, though. He can literally grab the rebound and Patrick Mahomes that boy one end of the court to the other. Whereas Cade, I don't know if he can do that. I haven't seen him do that too many times.
Drew, I forgot, man. I'm surprised he didn't say anything about this. It's Happy 316 Day.
I totally forgot, bro. I've been so busy today.
What's going on, Bravo? How you doing?
What's going on, guys? How is everybody doing?
Good. We're just talking some topics.
We're talking Diallo.
Well, what's the news? Do you have any news?
So we talked about Wade Ellington. Pistons only want a second-round pick for him. That's what they're asking for. We talked about Tyler Cook for a couple of minutes. We don't really know what to expect because the man's barely averaged a point a game in his NBA career. And we talked about Aaron Gordon actually wanting to come to the Detroit Pistons.
He wanted that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
wow.
He requested a new change of scenery, and Detroit was on his list. So, which is
interesting,
pretty crazy if you do think about it.
Mm.
Got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've never really thought about Aaron Gordon's coming to Detroit, but it will be interesting because I never hated the player. I really liked him. You know, I mean, he's a power forward, but he's very athletic and he shows like flashes of athleticism, but he's not really a skilled player so much. I don't know if he's going to fit into the system, but I think he's not a bad choice. I mean, if you ask me which other alternative power forwards you want, I mean, he's up there. Who else you want? There's not a lot of great power forwards in this league. I mean, I'm not talking about the greatest ones, but I'm talking about the available ones for us.
Yeah, I mean, he's no Porzingis. Like, that's kind of a power forward that comes
I'm not
to
thinking.
mind.
In reality, though, would you rather have Aaron Gordon or Markkanen from Chicago?
Markkanen. No, I'd definitely take Gordon over Markkanen. Markkanen is one of the, I hate to say it, is one of the biggest busts I've seen in a while. John Lore 2.0.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm not going to call it that way anyways, but I'm not really a fan of him, really.
Yeah, I think that Markkanen to me reminds me of Ryan Anderson. You probably didn't remember who that is. It's just like a stretch forward, but I mean,
Stan Van Gundy guy.
Ryan Anderson, yeah, absolutely. John Lure, man, I can't get over that. It's funny.
man, I'm telling you, you bring Markkanen here into Detroit, he'll turn into like one of the worst defenders in the team, and he's probably gonna get a lot of slacks from the Detroit Piston fans, and they're gonna talk shit about him already. I'm guaranteeing you because he can't defend. He's not a good defender. He's not even a good. He's not consistent 3-point shooter. He's a good percentage overall. He making those shots, but he goes into those times he can't make a shot. Like last year, I think he was bad. This year he's a little bit better. I'm not a fan, to be honest. If you ask me, I mean, I'm not a fan of bringing a white guy here who can shoot threes. I'm not I'm out of this. I'm done. I'm done with this. So you bring me Aaron Gordon is just half and half. I'll take it that way.
You know, I think Bumley is the only white guy we got left, man.
And he might be traded.
He might be traded. Hey, white men can't jump, bro. We know our place. We will be the towel boys. We need talent. We need to win. The white boys, they're not cutting, bro. All the white guys we got are ass. I'm telling you right now, bro. Yeah. If it was the 80s, maybe. But we got nothing.
None of them is good. I mean, the only white guy who's the only white guy in the league that you guys like?
Luka.
Yeah, this is not white guy. This is European. I wouldn't call him white guy. That's European.
So you're talking American though?
Yeah, American white dude. I mean, I haven't seen anyone good. Tell me. Kevin Love. That's the only guy he can't. He's
not
defend.
good anymore though. He's a bum now, bro. He's a scrub.
Yeah. He's not, Gordon Hayward.
I'm not a big Gordon Hayward fan.
I'm not a fan of him either.
I'm not. I don't really like.
I like it.
Svitas is foreign.
Gordon Hayward's probably the only one.
That's the only other white guy I can think of that's good.
I can't think
of
everyone
else is either light skinned or.
Yeah, I mean Europeans are like foreigners. They're not. Yeah. There's just. I mean, maybe who's like on even the Mavericks.
I know is Joe Harris? Is he from the States?
I'm not sure.
Joe Harris is a shooter. He's like Luke Kennard. He's not like a power forward.
You just said white guy.
Oh, white guy. I mean, like Luke Kennard is a good shooter. JJ Redick is a good shooter. That.
Old.
Caruso.
Bald.
Tyler Hero.
I'm not a Hero fan. I'm not a Duncan Robinson fan.
Yeah. I don't think they're good.
They're just shooters, man. That's all they do.
Shooters.
Yeah.
It feels like every white guy's a shooter.
Like I said, we know our job, bro. We know
what's his name?
Shoot it or we pass it. We don't try anything else.
Who's this? Who's that center trash on the Charlotte Hornets? What's his name? I forgot his name. That
Cody
trash
Zeller, bro. He's a scrub.
Oh man, that's just a scrub.
Yeah, Cody Zeller and Mason Plumlee are like literally just doubles of each other.
Was it you who shared that Spider-Man meme?
Yeah. Taco Fall's not white, man. Oh, man.
Only way I think the white race has a chance in basketball is if we did a Dave Chappelle racial draft. That's the only way we'd be able to do it. Right now, we got nobody that's from the States. Now, Luka, like you said, is European. We got a couple good European players, but from the States, we're slacking, man. We're dropping the ball.
I mean, the only best player I've seen in the past maybe 5 years is Kevin Love. That's the best player I've seen.
Yeah, he's a third wheel, though, bro.
He's a good player.
It just goes to, man, Pat Connaughton's not that nice. We're tripping. He's not superstar. We're talking about like that. Like,
what about DiVincenzo?
I mean, he's all right. I mean, I wouldn't call him like a star. He's like
not. But I'm literally just trying to think, bro. There's not too many.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd have to go back. Like Larry Bird is probably the last like good white star player I could think of
from the States.
From the States, yeah.
Nash was Canadian. Dirk was German.
Nico Mannion. That's not American, by the way. That's Italian. He's American citizen, but he's also Italian. He plays for Italy.
Oh yeah.
So the best player I've seen who's an all-star is Kevin Love, I believe. That's the only guy. I haven't seen any other players who's good as Kevin Love. He's not an all-star
anymore, though.
Yeah, but in the past 5-10 years, I can't remember. Like Sabonis is not American. He's just Latvian, I believe.
Yeah.
Think about it. So this is how you. So Plumlee is the center we have. I don't want another guy like Markkanen. Markkanen is a white dude. He's a foreigner, but I'm not really a fan because he's not really. You know, if you ask me, would you rather have Markkanen or Nikola Mirotic from the Real Madrid? I'd love Nikola Mirotic over Markkanen, although he's older and they're in age.
Yeah, like everyone's like in the comment section, like Jason Williams. Well, we're talking about current players. We're not talking about like all the time because I know a lot of you guys are going like Chris Mullin. I'm really disappointed. Not one Piston fan did not mention Luigi Datomi. Shame on you guys. Where is your Piston fandom, man? I'm gonna have to take your Piston.
The old Italian assassin.
Or Jonas Jerebko.
No, that's not the worst. The worst I've ever seen in my life is Henry fucking Ellison.
Oh,
that is a complete trash. He's playing for the Raptors. They can't even believe how trash this guy is. He can shoot it, but that's it.
Oh, Steve Blake, man.
Steve Blake was Canadian, wasn't he?
I think he was.
I thought he was from Canada.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Man. Charlie
it might be Luke Kennard right now. He might be the best shooter right now.
But like I said, all white guys are shooters. Like you never see like a white superstar that's not European.
Yeah, I know. So
currently,
I mean, even Larry Bird shot.
Like I can't even think of a one white player right now that is going. Myers Leonard, you're funny. Kyle Singler. You guys are just pulling them out.
Oh. We won't touch that one.
Even this guy, the San Antonio Spurs center, Podol, that's a European too.
Zach LaVine's mixed, bro. He's not all white.
He might look white, but he's just that light skinned.
Blake Griffin, he's mixed, bro.
Yeah, like have Zach LaVine in Florida, he'll look completely different.
Zaza. Steph is mixed, bro.
Yeah, so there's none of them white guys who are really born here are good players. I can't remember. Like Myles Leonard is the only guy I can remember right now.
Not for the right reasons.
So let's talk about this. Do you guys think Aaron Gordon would fit in this team?
Probably not, no.
He'd get a lot of stats, but it wouldn't translate to anything.
Tyler Hero did not carry the Heat to the finals. Jimmy Butler did. Come on. Jimmy Butler's not on that team. They're not in the finals.
Don't worry about that. They were also comparing that Miami Heat team to the 2004 Pistons.
I know. I got sick of that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think you need to bring too many. So here's the thing. At some point, when you have too many athletes in your team, that's not going to work. You need some skills. I'm telling you. NBA basketball also requires skills and requires some professional level of scoring, some sort of like. I mean, you can't just win with athleticism and defense. NBA requires skill, requires shooting also. When you lose a shooting, like I talked about it. When we lost V, I'm not a hater of his V. I'm not a hater of the trade. I like Diallo, but we lost shooting. If you trade Ellington, the team he cannot shoot right now. No, who's going to shoot? Josh Jackson cannot knock down three. He's not a great shooter. Same thing. I'm impressed by seeing this guy for the last 3 minutes of the last game, Servidis. He played for like 3 minutes, but we need a shooter right now. I'm serious.
Bro, I got a serious question for you real quick. In a one-on-one game, who would win? John Lure or Henry Ellison?
Both trash, man. I mean, right now, if you ask me right now, is Henry Ellison because John Lure out of the league. But if they say prime Ellington versus prime John Lure, I'm gonna say John Lure.
Do they even have a prime?
Is Ben Simmons is white?
No, he's mixed.
Yeah.
I said Kardashians don't date any white boys.
Yeah, that. Well, Kim, what was Chris Humphries? Was he white?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He tapped Kim for a minute, so I mean.
Yeah, that I don't know what happened there.
Is Klay Thompson is white?
No, he's mixed. His dad's black.
He's got waves, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of bringing white guys in here. I don't even like white foreign players here. I mean, I would like shooters in here. That's fine, but not a shooting power forward who's gonna be put on the spot. He cannot defend. Marketing is not a good defender. I don't think I would like him. Aaron Gordon. The problem is if you bring him here, I don't know how you're gonna fit this team. Is all of them athletes, and you need some skills at some point. I don't know if you're Troy. Hey, I trust in Troy. Whatever he wants to do. He wants to just don't trick Sekou, Troy. Don't let 3 phones at the same time. You're going to mess it up if you have 3 phones at once.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I was the biggest marketing guy, but he looks so bad in Chicago. Like he can't defend his own shadow. But he's a good 3-point shooter. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a trade-off. Aaron Gordon to me, I think I would not like a Jeremy Grant, Aaron Gordon 3-4 combo. I think it would be awful. Absolutely awful. I think Jeremy Grant better at the 4 than he is the 3. He can play the 3, but I like him better at the 4. And Aaron Gordon can't play the 3 because he's too damn slow.
Yeah, Grant spaces the floor out because of his ability to shoot, whereas Gordon, that's like you said, that's taking a dive. So we just got some floor spacing with Grant out there, so I don't want to lose it all again.
You know who would fit us better than Gordon? The other guy, Vucevic. You know, he's older, but he's a great shooter. He can shoot, he can play. This guy is an all-star. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit our time, but he fits it better than fit us, our team better. If you bring him right now, well, I don't think he fits us because of the age. I would agree.
Give me Mobley. I'll take Mobley and beef stew.
Oh, Mobley is a draft. You don't know if we're gonna get second pick. I doubt it.
We're gonna be top 4.
I hope so. Okay, that's optimistic. But last year I stayed optimistic all the way, and we got fucked. I'm not gonna stay optimistic again.
We're talking about like current players. We know that John Stockton was an all-star, but
Excuse my French. I'm like hyped up.
I can tell, man. I mean, I've never seen you call John Lewis trash. Talked about Henry Ellenson, man. We're just talking about everybody. Here's a question for you, Bravo. Cade or LaMelo?
No, definitely Cade. Cade is a generation. LaMelo was. So here's it. We missed a train on LaMelo. We're not getting LaMelo. What do you mean by getting? Oh, who is a better player, Cade or LaMelo? No question about it, Cade. I'm gonna pick up Cade because right now you see what he's doing in school and he's in college. If you bring LaMelo to college, you probably do well also. But I probably would pick up Cade at this point. I'm gonna say Cade. If you ask me a better questions, Cade or Imani Bates, who would you rather pick? That's a tougher question.
I like Bates. But again, we haven't seen him play.
Which one would you rather pick?
I don't know. That one may be a little bit too early to talk about.
Yeah, I couldn't give you.
Exactly.
I could say Cade, and he could like freaking rupture his Achilles. You never know what'll happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't throw that on him. That's our guy.
I know.
Yeah. We have bad luck with ACLs and Achilles. Stop it.
It's because Arnie Cantor's not here anymore. That's why.
So what about other trade rumors? Did you guys hear anything new?
So Plumlee, Wayne Ellington, and DeLon Wright are all in trade talks.
Really? Even Plumlee?
Yeah, I was reading an article this morning from The Athletic. They said that Plumlee, I wouldn't be surprised if Plumlee went because I think Isaiah Stewart, I think, has shown that, he can play. Looks like Drew had to hop off, but there's honestly like Plumlee to me, I think you could trade because you have Isaiah Stewart. You just signed that 10-day guy. Maybe he can play a little bit. And Jahlil Okafor was taking jump shots yesterday. So he's getting close to return. I don't really know. I don't know what you can get for Plumlee, honestly.
No, I think you can get a good return value for Plumlee because I think he's still a good player. He can still play a good role center. I think so.
Yeah, like I think if you package Plumlee and Wayne, maybe you can get a first-round pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The point is, I'm not sure if Troy Weaver is going to trade a player we just signed this year. I'll be super. So that's like if he's trading a player we just really signed this year, if we trade like a player we just moved for, what does that mean? He's just recirculating the players. That's not good for us. We need to keep the player some sort of momentum for next year. That's how I look at it. I mean, why did you bring Wayne Ellington if you're going to trade him in midseason just for a value? That doesn't make any sense.
Nothing Troy Weaver has made any freaking sense. Like all the stretching and the waving, he just doesn't care. He's crazy. Yeah, we did see that Killian is cleared for basketball activities. He was actually. Did you see that video earlier today that they posted?
No, I haven't watched anything.
Oh, Killian was throwing lobs to Isaiah Stewart. He's on the court, like just doing basketball activities, and he looks really good. Honestly, we'll probably see him in April, if anything, because he's got another 3-week evaluation. So when we could possibly see him play again.
Well, I'm not expecting much from him, but yeah. But back to that topic, I would be really surprised if he trade Plumlee, Jeremy Grant, or even Delon Wright. I mean, Delon Wright, we acquired him through a package, but Ellington too. To Ellington, Plumlee is one of those free agents that Troy Weaver literally signed, and we should. It does not mean that we should be trading them because even Plumlee, like, is a 3-year deal. Why would we trade a player we just signed for a 3-year deal? That doesn't work. I mean, it works for me as a Piston fan, but it doesn't make sense for like the GM. You just signed these players. Why are you trading them?
Well, maybe because Isaiah Stewart has upped his game so much, he feels more comfortable with him. He feels that Isaiah Stewart can take on that starting role, and it would be, to me, I think it would really help his development. Because I mean, he's shown that he can stretch out the floor. He's shown that he has a little bit of a mid-range jumper. He's got some low-key dimes. I don't know if you saw that play last night where he literally he just did a dribble handoff and he threaded the needle right to Saban Lee. That was a beautiful pass. Never seen Andre Drummond do that his rookie year. Didn't do that till year 7. Stewart's doing it his rookie year. I mean, like, some people are saying he looks like Al Horford, a little bit of a Bam Adebayo with that pass. But, I mean, I feel like Stewart could definitely take over that spot if you want to move on from Plumlee. I know a lot of fans would be happy with that too.
Yeah, but does that make sense for you as a GM? And I mean, you're making the move that you just signed this player. It will go against his arguments that you brought these people in initially, and you traded them in on within the midseason. I don't think it looks. I mean, I'd be happy with it with a trade in a Plumlee. I wouldn't be sad, but it looks weird if he trades them.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, free agents wouldn't want to come here because they're like, just sign me to a long-term deal. Why are you trading me? I 100% agree with your argument there. But, I mean, the team's offering you some kind of maybe a young player or a draft pick compensation. Like, you have to consider it, I think. Because I think Stewart's play is really kind of like not so much like Troy, but I know Casey wanted Plumlee. That actually came out. That was like one of the guys Casey wanted. Maybe Troy doesn't really want Plumlee. Maybe that's why he's trying to move him.
No, I think he's only moving Plumlee, Delon Wright, even guys like Blake Ellington if he gets a pick in return. But I don't think we should be doing those. I know it's good for the fans, good for the team players, but that's not good for reputation of the Pistons. You know what? I mean, it looks like he doesn't care anymore. That's what he's. I mean, the team just wants to get picked and get a value for our players. If you want to do it that way, might as well trade Grant. I mean, get like 3 or 4 first-round picks from get 4 first-round picks from the Celtics. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, Ben, that's all I really asked for out of Andre Drummond in 7 years, and he never did it. Isaiah Stewart's like what 19, 20, and he showed more maturity than Drummond did in like 8 years. Like, honest, like I could probably say Stewart. If he started, he would have probably similar stats to what Andre did his rookie year.
So if the Celtics come in and give you 4 first-round picks and absorb Jeremy contract without any trade, I'd take it.
Oh yeah, if they're going to offer you 4 first-round picks, they're probably not going to be good first-round picks, but I mean they'll probably be probably mid-20s, high 20s, probably like late lottery. But I mean, you'd have to consider taking it. I mean,
yeah.
For Troy saying that he's a building block, I understand that because that's his guy. I mean, to me, that's Troy Weaver's like the main reason why we got Jeremy Grant is because Troy Weaver was so familiar with him at Syracuse, at OKC, really likes him, and he saw like what he's doing right now. Troy Weaver saw that. He thought that he could kind of up his game to being more than just a role player. But I don't know what I would take for Jeremy Grant, honestly.
So this guy Armor John is saying, I'm not taking mid first round pick. Grant is untouchable. I totally agree with your rationale, bro. But the point is, you're getting cash in return. You know, somebody is giving you, taking your asset, but is giving you cash in return. There's nothing wrong with cash. I know it's like, it doesn't look like they're good picks. We don't know what's going to happen in 4 years. But what I would do if I'm the Detroit GM, I'd get future picks. So that down the line, like in 4, 5, 6 years, the Celtics will become bad team, and that's where we can abuse them in that situation. So don't get like this year pick, get like future picks, 2028, which is it doesn't make sense for us. But hey, you can cash the Celtics when they're really in a bad team in the future. That's what you do it. And again, it's like cash. Everything has cash value. And at some point, let's say Jeremy Grant get injured, get like a ruptured AC. I hope not. I hope not. I'm not saying
Yeah.
something. Knock on wood. If the guy get injured, hey, all your picks are gone. All this trade asset is gone. There's no point of doing that.
Yeah, 100% agree with this, Troy. You said that Weaver took Steven Adams at 13 and Stewart at 16. I think Stewart will pan out as a good NBA starter. Absolutely. Like if he starts knocking down a jump shot, he's going to be a headache for a lot of NBA teams, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you would have to kind of, because you can't trade back-to-back picks, kind of like piggybacking what you're saying. Maybe you use this year's draft pick and maybe, I don't know, 2023, 2025, maybe a 2027 or 2026. Because who knows what's going to happen with Tatum and Brown. I think they'll eventually split because I don't think those two together are going to win an NBA championship. That's just the way I feel.
No, you actually take the 2028, 2030, 2032, 2034 picks. That's how you do it. You kill the Celtics when they're a really rebuilding team. That's how you do it. But I don't think that you could do it. It's hard to do it that way. That's how you bank your money. So, but it's crazy idea, crazy thought, and I kind of agree with Armor John. And I was like, probably I don't think he's touchable right now. But again, the way he fell yesterday from this, that he was trying to dunk the ball, he fell. I was like, my heart fell on the ground. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I hope he's not injured.
Yeah.
He keeps taking those like layups and crazy acrobatic moves. And it's too risky in the NBA. Trust me, at some point you expose yourself to injury.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to trade Jeremy Grant because I think it's actually a bad move if you don't want to get free agents to come here, consistently.
Yeah.
I think he could be a building block, honestly. And I don't think Danny Ainge, you'd have to catch Danny Ainge drunk to get 4 first-round picks for that guy or lock him in the closet and talk to an assistant GM because that guy will not trade draft picks or young assets. He's very greedy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to trade him either, trust me. But hey, if you get first round picks, I'm protected. Hey, do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the Celtics want Harrison Barnes too. So obviously they're looking for a forward that can defend and shoot. So I mean, if they want to go rob the Kings blind, let them go do it. Pistons are a little bit smarter.
What's up with Dennis Smith Jr. out for 2 games?
Oh, COVID protocol. I think he's questionable tomorrow for the Raptors game.
We will see what happens. We'll see what happens. But so the trade deadline is on the 21st?
25th. So we got 9 days.
Wow. It's actually, so things supposed to happen this week or next week? Next week.
It could happen right now. We don't know. Like, honestly, the trades, like that article I was reading, the guy said he wouldn't be surprised if there were more trades to happen within this week or next, just because of what the Pistons are trying to do, trying to acquire more picks, get rid of the veterans because they don't need DeLon Wright anymore. They got a lot of point guards. Wayne Ellington, expiring contract, probably get a draft pick for that, and stuff like that. Is Diallo playing tomorrow? He's got a hip injury, so I don't know. A groin injury, not a hip injury. Do not know when he's actually going to play. Pistons won't even give any kind of detail when he's going to play or not. I can look on the injury report for you right now, but I don't think he's going to play this week. Maybe next week if we're lucky. I don't know. Like I said, I had him on my fantasy team, and he's been injured for a month. Yeah. Yep, out tomorrow. Yeah, Ronnie McGruder. Okay, so this is where the trading deadline gets interesting. So Ronnie McGruder is day-to-day, and he's questionable tomorrow. He's playing really well.
Yeah, played really well.
He may be traded. Wayne Ellington, again, he's got a groin injury, apparently. He's day-to-day. He might not play tomorrow. So, I mean, There's so many trades that could happen, Bravo. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like the Wayne Ellington. I feel like he's the player we just signed him free agency, and if we trade him for a bag of chips for a second round pick, I mean, what does that do for our team? You know, we want to get something in return for Wayne Ellington, but I like the guy. I like the dude. He played well for us. He's the second time he plays for us. Why would you trade him?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you all they're asking is for a second round pick, like I thought they would have asked for more. But I mean, like, if all you want is a second round pick, you could probably trade him right now.
Yeah, I would trade him for a young player rather than a second round pick. Maybe I'd do it that way. If he wants to go to the Clippers, send him for Terrence Mann. I'd do it that way. Maybe.
I like Terrence, man. I don't know if the Clippers could do that though.
Yeah. Would you take Romeo Langford for DeLon Wright? I don't think the contract match. DeLon Wright is $9 million. Romeo Langford is like $3 or $4 million. So doesn't work. If you manage to make it equal, definitely why not? But it's not doesn't work as a contract. And
Yeah, like Langford, I'm not really that high on. I still think he's a bust. Like, honestly, I'm so glad we didn't draft him.
Yeah.
I think it's back-to-back drafts where the Celtics have taken guys that I don't want the Pistons to. Like, they got Langford. I wanted Sekou. That happened. They took Naismith. I wanted Shadid Bey. That happened. Like, the Celtics keep doing me favors because I don't think Naismith would be as good as Shadid Bey has been this year.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on with their team. They don't have a spot on their team. That's the problem. So they're very competitive as a team. Just like here, Sekou. Sekou's not playing because there's no specific spot player for him. I mean, spot on our team. The same thing with the Celtics. They don't even have spots for Romeo Langford or those guys to play on their team.
I don't know. I feel like we don't really need a young big since we have Isaiah Stewart. But I mean, I thought Marvin Bagley would have been a guy, but he got injured. He sprained his left hand or something like that. I don't even know. He broke his hand, which that guy cannot stay healthy. Still can't believe the Kings drafted him over Luka Doncic.
Do you generally think that we're going to trade DeLon Wright?
I do. I think he's gone. I think there's a good possibility that the Pistons trade him.
That would be interesting. I mean, I would like him to be traded, but which team would take him? It's a $9 million contract.
Just from the articles I read from, James Edwards, who's an insider, he has sources. That's what his sources are telling him, that DeLon Wright could be traded because we have 3-point guards. Like, we don't really actually 4-point guards if you count Killian. You don't really need him. Like, you have DSJ, you have Saban Lee, you have DeLon Wright plus Killian Hayes. There's not really any use for him. I mean, maybe if you want to make the case to kind of baby Killian when he comes back and put DeLon at shooting guard, I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to trade him, but the question is a $9 million and I think next year too, or $8.5 million. Which team would rather take DeLon Wright for $8.5 million next year? I wouldn't pay him $8.5 million next year.
I don't know. You want to take this question? Do you think DSJ is going to be on the Pistons next year?
It's really tough. So Troy Weaver said So here's the thing. The guys that Troy Weaver brought in, I would find a hard time seeing them traded. Already, he brought all the players. The only guy left in our team is a couple of them, Servidis and Sekou. These are the only two guys left, and I hope they're not going to be traded. Dennis Smith Jr., he brought him in with a second-round pick from the New York Knicks. I kind of feel like he's going to stay on a minimum veteran, sign another year and maybe another year with a team option or a player option. That's what we're going to do with him. And Decline has qualifying offer. I don't think we're going to offer him the $7 million. We're going to give him like a 2-year contract with a team option or a player option in the second year so that we can have some sort of control on his salary. And I do feel like we're already giving him a chance. The question is whether we're going to keep him or not. It all depends on Troy, and it also depends on our draft also.
Yeah.
If we get like top 2 pick and we pick like, I mean, if we get like a guard in this draft or like a guy like, I hope that we get Cunningham, obviously. But if we get a guy like Cunningham, Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be gone. He's not going to stay on this team.
Yeah, I mean, even you can make a case for Jalen Green. You can make a case for Jalen Suggs. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the top 5 that I like. like hot take, I don't think he comes back. I think this was a move just in case Killian couldn't come back. And now that we got word that he could possibly come back with maybe 20 games left in the season in April, I think that it's kind of like you take a flyer on a guy. You never really know what's going to happen. Like obviously he's played some really good games, but that qualifying offer is $7 million. I think you could keep Saban Lee you could probably sign Saban Lee to a really cheap contract, not even probably $5 million. I think that Saban Lee makes more sense for the Pistons long term. Not to say DSJ is not a bad player by any means. He's shown a lot. But I think that the Pistons could probably move on from him just because I'm more interested and intrigued what Saban Lee can bring to the table long term for Detroit.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Dennis Smith Jr., I feel like we're going to bring him back on a minimum vet. This is like a Wayne Ellington kind of contract, and he would accept it because he doesn't have an opportunity unless he wants to go to Orlando, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, some people, they think Saban's better than DSJ. I think
so.
I think Saban Lee and DSJ play completely different. I think Saban's more of like a true point guard, and DSJ is kind of like that combo guard that can play either one or the two, and he's looking to score first. Saban Lee looks to get people involved to me.
But DSJ plays really nice defense. I liked him so
he does. He does that. I didn't see that when he was with the Knicks. Didn't really see that too much when he was with Dallas. Like the defense to me, I've never seen yet. Say that he could be back in 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah.
So the thing is about Killian Hayes, I'm still really, I hate to say it, I'm still speculating he might not be 100%. And that's a reason to keep Dennis Smith Jr. in. Killian Hayes got an injury. When you hear a tear, any kind of ligament, that's a bad thing. And he might end up with another tear again. He might need to get an operation at some point. I wouldn't really believe those doctors in the Pistons. They already they're saying this. It looks like it's progressing well. I'm a physician myself, but I know NBA players tend to re-tear this thing again sometimes. So you need to give him at least a year to see how he rehabbed from that injury. He got injured when did he got injured? In January? Or is it
January. I mean, that's about the 8-week timetable they gave us because they didn't want to elect for surgery. They wanted to do the rehab, which I mean, I thought they were just going to rehab him and strengthen his hip up to have the surgery. I didn't think that he was going to try to come back because I said, before I'd rather him sit out because I don't want to risk it. And some people say, well, let's see what he has left. But I think if you want to be smart long term, just have him sit out for the rest of the year. You don't want to have him tear it again because then you're looking at a longer timetable. He could possibly have surgery and be out even longer. And then I think he should just sit out the rest of the year. I know fans want to see him back, but I think it would be a smarter decision for the organization if he just, continues to rehab that hip. And, maybe he wants to have surgery this offseason. Maybe he can do it. I don't know.
Actually, I hate to say it. There could be a chance he would never be 100% again. He's too young, but I hate to say it. That kind of injury is kind of crazy, I'm telling you. But the good thing he's 19. So that works in his advantage, and he's a young kid, and I hope he's recovered. So we can't just bank our chances on him 100%. No.
I think what does help him, though, is he doesn't really play a fast tempo game. Like if that was like another guard, I'd be more concerned. But the way he plays, he's very slow and methodical. So that's what kind of gave me when I saw that was a hip subluxation, I was like, okay, that's not too serious. But I mean, there is a chance he isn't the same player like you said. I mean, I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of, I know Isaiah Thomas didn't have a hip subluxation. He had a completely different injury, but it kind of reminds me of that.
You see that question? Devin, Detroit Ghost?
What do you say? I think the Magic would hang up on you in 2 seconds if you offered that. They'd probably block your number.
I know, right?
No disrespect to DeLon Wright or Mason Plumlee, but Cole Anthony, obviously he should have been a lottery pick. I think a lot of us liked him here. And Nikola Vucevic, I'm sorry, that's probably a top 5 center in the NBA right now. Just the way he's playing. He is just playing such a good brand of basketball. I'm actually happy for him. I was on the Nikola Vucevic hype train like maybe 3-4 years ago when I had him in fantasy. Guy was just a bucket, but I mean, you're not getting Vucevic with Plumlee and Ellington. I mean, you would have to be drunk to even do that. I mean, come on, man.
So Detroit Ghost, be realistic when you say something like that, and I have no chance at all. We actually have to give our pick to the Orlando Magic in order to make it happen, probably.
You still have to factor the other side of the ball. His defense is going to suffer 100% with the hip injury. Plus, would you ever feel comfortable if he makes plays again? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I hate to use Blake as an example, but I mean, I was getting anxiety this year in preseason when Blake was diving down on the floor because I didn't want him to injure his knee again. It's not a tear, it's a dislocation. Yeah, we talked about that. It's a subluxation. Even a dislocation could be serious.
Yeah, it's the hip. It's not the knee, which is a good thing. But again, I think will affect his first step, like I mentioned. We will find out how he. That's a good thing. I don't think he might be able to hustle again like he used to before. But let's hope he's 100%. I really hope so because he's still young. He got a chance, but I wouldn't bank my chances on him so high.
No, I feel like we talk about Seiko at least once a week on this channel. If he's a bust or not, I don't think he's a bust. I just think he doesn't get consistent minutes because sometimes he doesn't play consistently on both ends of the floor. I think if you give him consistent minutes, maybe he can put together more games consistently, but there's just too many forwards above him right now. I mean, you got Jeremy Grant, Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson. The only reason Sekou played 14 minutes last night is because Jeremy Grant didn't come back after that fall. That's the only reason Sekou got any playing time last night.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bust, though. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think he's a bust, but the problem is, like you mentioned, he's not getting enough playing time. And I think he's probably, like right now, looking at it, the way he's developing, the way he's playing, is more of fit into a role bench player rather than really a bust player. I mean, some of those first round picks can turn into a good role players. He might be a good role player, but it's too early to decide because it's still like 20. He just turned 20 this year, and he turns 21 at the end of this year. So you're gonna have to wait on him, and he's got like probably Sekou Doumbouya has the best athletic body, I would say, on the Detroit Pistons team right now. I mean, in terms of the body build, he's as good after Isaiah Stewart, basically. He's probably the best looking body he has. So why doesn't he really just work on his skills? So like some of the basic things he needs to do, like faking the ball or faking a shot, or I mean, if he's really shooting that bad, why is he even shooting the ball? Instead of shooting three, try to go to the lane and make the pass. He started doing this yesterday. I think it's a good thing for him, but I think he needs some G League time, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I said that, and JMO came on here about last week and told me how wrong I was. As I said, the G League for him wouldn't really be a demotion because he would get playing time and he could develop his skill set because there's just not enough time for him right now because there's just so many people above him. And, people want to come for Casey's head, but, Casey didn't sign all those forwards. Troy did because Troy feels that, you need multiple forwards to, switch. And I happen to agree with that, but I mean, I'm not going to give up on the kid. He's 20. I think he can turn into a really good player. You just have to be patient with him.
I actually started to I feel like he should be. I know Josh Jackson is a playing shooting guard, but I started to really not like his recent game form. He's taking too predictable shots, too predictable going to the lane. He's not as good as he's not as sharp as he started for us in the season. You guys paying attention to that? Josh Jackson is not the same kind of player when he started playing for us in the first 10 games or 15 games. I don't know why. It's just maybe the injury got messed him up. And even Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is not consistent. He's taking some of the shot. He's not even, but I like Sadiq Bey obviously more. I feel like Sekou should be getting ahead sometimes of Josh Jackson and sometimes. I don't know why you guys don't do that.
I don't know, like instances last night where, he was our leading scorer, but he took a lot of shots. I feel like, when the shot's not falling, maybe sub in Sekou for a couple minutes to see if, maybe Sekou's more hungry than Josh at the time. I don't know. This is a question which, it's a Servetus question. I don't know if Servetus will get consistent minutes ever on the Detroit Pistons. I think they drafted him and they're just stuck with him for the next couple of years. He played in garbage time last night and he looked really energetic, but he just couldn't. A couple 3-point shots, which his 3-point shot is really quick, actually. It's just not falling. Apparently, people say you look like Roman from Grand Theft Auto, Bravo.
Where?
One of the subscribers said that you look like Roman from Grand Theft Auto.
GTA 4. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, I kind of see it a little bit.
That's a good game though.
Oh man, I haven't played GTA in so long, probably since like PS2.
Yeah. So we will find out who's gonna trade it. I actually still I wouldn't be surprised if we trade nobody. This Troy Weaver already made a lot of moves. I might be expecting at least Wayne Ellington, but I wouldn't be surprised if we trade nobody, like nothing. Maybe cut off some players, let them go, waive them. That's what we might end up doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if Stefanski was still here, then yeah, but Troy Weaver's kind of a different animal. Stefanski, to me, like he wouldn't take deals for Langston Galloway or Reggie Jackson or anybody. He just bought them all out. It's like you could have got draft picks. That's why I think that if Troy was here, you probably would have dealt Langston or any of those guys and got something for them. But I think we're going to wrap it up, Bravo. We've been on for like an hour, and I'm sure we're probably going to do a show Saturday too. But like I said, just wanted to talk because there's been so much news going on, and I'm sure it's only going to get crazier as the week does go on. But appreciate you stepping on by. Appreciate all of you guys dropping in the chat. If you haven't liked the video, give me 2 seconds out of your time and just like the video. Like always, hope you guys are staying safe. Take care. Talk to you guys in the next video.